as you've seen, when I removed the plug of wax and skin from the patient's left ear, which is this ear here, and I showed the patient, he remarked, it looked like, he actually said himself, it looks like the earwax has got a punk hairstyle because of the hairs that are attached to it. So we're just in the left ear here, and we're just using a bit of microsuction. I'm just trying to detach this from the base of the ear canal, but there's some really strong skin adhesions here, and it's really tightly adhered. So I immediately went into with the forceps. There's a little gap just at the bottom here. I'm just gliding the bottom jaw in, as you can see, and I'm lifting the bottom jaw up just to release the plug from the bottom of the ear canal. And we're going to do that again, and I'm just pincing it, shutting the jaws, and I'm going to slowly then wriggle this out, and you can see it's come out in a big plug. And there's the flock of hairs just to the left that the patient said it looks like a punk hairstyle on the wax. There's the patient's eardrum, nice and healthy, just some dead skin at the roof of the ear canal. So just going to go back in with the microsuction probe, the zonal suction probe. I'm just going to glide this left to right and peel some of the skin off. Because we're on the cartilaginous portion, there's a bit of give here. If we're on the bony part of the ear canal, I probably would have left that because that's a lot more sensitive. Slightly opaque eardrum, but otherwise nice and healthy. So this is the patient's right ear. I'll say this is semi-occluding. You can see at the bottom there's a gap there, but there's a lot of dead skin. So because the forceps worked really well in the patient's right ear, I thought, let me try and remove this immediately using the forceps in the patient's right ear. But it's very hard because of the angles, very hard to get the orientation right. So just using the suction probe, not to remove the wax because it is strongly adhered, but just to detach some of it from the canal wall, which will then enable me to re-enter with the forceps and get a better grip. As you can see, I've peeling this off the anterior canal wall. I'll stop there, and there's now something for me to grab onto with the forceps as the angle's a bit better. Giving it a good pinch, and I'm just gently peeling this, trying to peel the skin at the same time as removing this. You can see there's a big long flap of skin that's attached to the exterior of the skin and wax plug. Just some dry wax and skin right near the entrance. Again, just using the forceps to get underneath. I'm using the bottom jaw just to lift it, elevate it. You can see the eardrum in the distance, but there's some dead keratin on the posterior canal wall. There's some here also. This is a fresher layer of skin. You can see by the colour. And as the skin gets older, it becomes more like this. On the left-hand side, it oxidizes. In most people, the skin will naturally migrate out of the ear, and then you get another layer of skin forming on the canal wall, and that will die and shed and migrate like a conveyor belt motion almost. But in this patient, the skin is getting trapped, it's not migrating. As you can see, I've just peel this back part of skin off the canal wall. I'm just using the forceps again, because it's peeling all the way to the medial part of the ear canal. And just, we've got some dead skin there. We can't get some skin's just not ready to be removed. And I said, when I train my clear wax delegates, I'll probably advise them to leave that. So if you are watching, guys, I know a lot of you watch, just whilst you're gaining the skills and experience, I'll just advise you just to leave that. It's just when you're a bit more skilled and comfortable with all the instrumentation, feel free to go there. So again, eardrum's intact. It's slightly opaque. When we say opaque, the eardrum should be really translucent, almost with a blue tinge. We can sometimes see through the eardrum, semi-see-through anyway, hence translucent, and sometimes we can see the incus, the middle bone. But with this patient's eardrum, it's just a bit opaque. So there's a slight light reflex, so you can see that, which means it's healthy enough. That's that thumbnail, a close-up of the skin and keratin plug, and you can see on the right-hand side those hairs that we plucked out, and that's what the patient remarked looked like a punk hairstyle.